Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, Asheri XO. If you are new here, my name is Francis, and if you are returning, hey girl, hey. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys how I created this cute press-on set for myself. So if you want to know how I got it done, stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, I sized the press-ons to my fingers, and then I went ahead with my drill and buffed out the base of the press-on nails. Creating a rough surface on both the press-on nails and my natural nails allows for the press-on to last a lot longer. This is how my natural nails look before the application, and this is me using a small round drill bit to push back my cuticles. After pushing back my cuticles, I do go back in with the drill bit that has the little sandpaper band just to rough off the surface of my nail before moving on to the next step. After I finish prepping my natural nail, I go in with my dehydrator and the nail primer. After creating this look, I ended up getting a new nail primer, and that new product will be featured in my videos to come. I still have a few in the bank, and I'm still doing my nails to this day. So I still have other videos coming, and so my primer is going to be different. But nonetheless, as always, I have everything linked down below. Once all 10 nail beds have been dehydrated and primed, I go in with one layer of nail glue on my natural nails, and I cure it under the light for 10 seconds. This one layer of glue on my natural nail is not thick at all, and I like to do this to protect my natural nail as well as boost the adhesive. After curing the layer of glue on my hand, I apply another layer to the press-on nail. Then I position it on my finger and flash it under the LED spot lamp so it can harden. When positioning the press-on, I like to leave a gap between the end of the press-on and my natural nail bed just to allow for a more natural finish when the look is complete. Also, it preserves the press-on and allows it to last a lot longer because it's less susceptible to lifting. When I first started doing my Gel X manicures, I didn't think that I needed 2 LED lamps, but now that I do my nails a lot more often, it's definitely a necessity. You definitely need a smaller lamp on the outside just so that you can position your finger and get it glued on quickly, and then another one for you to send your hand inside to like dry the glue. So having 2 separate lamps is a must. Okay, so this is how the press-ons are looking fresh off the press, okay? They are all glued on. I did my best to make them as straight as possible because my fingers are a little bit crooked and sometimes they come out, bending which way, but I think I did a good job. Next, I take my file and I use it to lightly blend and shape the nail so it looks more naturally on my finger. I don't do too much because I really like the shape of these nails. They fit my natural nails very perfectly and I can function with them. They have a beautiful length, so I don't change it up too much. After that, I grab my drill and I change the tip to this one, and then I use it to take off the shine from my nails. This step allows the gel polish to bind to the press-on a lot better, and it's the same logic behind why I had to buff my natural nail and buff the inside of the press-on. This step also helps me blend the base of the press-on nail with the base of my natural nail, which is still to help promote a smooth and natural finish. These are the nails all buffed out, and now it's time to start painting. As always, I start by painting my right hand with my left hand, and this is because my left hand is not my dominant hand, but I still get it done, okay? Shout out to the dexterity, but that just allows for the hardest part of this entire process to get out the way. And once I switch over and use my right hand, which is my dominant hand, we just go by real fast. Here is the blueprint for today's set. This is a new thing that I've started to incorporate. I'll just doodle or draw a sample of what I want my nails to look like. I'll make notes, and then while I'm drawing the nail, I refer back to that. Before, I didn't do this and I'd get lost in between, or I would just kind of freestyle it, and I wouldn't know how the nails will come out until either I'm midway in the process or towards the end of the process. So now I like to plan it out beforehand just to get a visual. Comment down below if y'all would like a separate video of my creative process for my nails or like anything in general, and I can definitely make that video for you. These are all the colors I'm going to be using for this set. I like to take them out of the bottle and put them on a spare foil sheet just so that it's easier for me to access it with the brush when I'm painting on my designs. I have aluminum foil lying around because I use it as a base under my LED lamps. One girl on TikTok, I saw her do her nails and she said that the foil kind of helps reflect the light, which allows for your nails to cure faster so your hand isn't under the lamp for too long. Also, it allows for the nails to have like a more even cure, so corners aren't gonna be wet, if that makes sense. Before, when I would just use the regular base or backing of the flat LED light, the corners of my thumbs and the sides of my pinkies wouldn't be dried all the way. So now I use foil to help reflect it, and I always get an even drying process. After my colors are prepped, I move on to the next step, which apparently is adding primer to the press-on nails. This step actually isn't really necessary, honestly, because primer is for your natural nails, but I guess I was putting it on because it kind of coats the base of the nail before I apply the foundation. This is the foundation or base gel coat that I like to use, and I apply only one layer and then I cure it under the lamp for like 10 seconds. For this step, it is very important to keep the layer thin and even as much as possible. You don't want it to be too bulky because, as in the name, it is the foundation of the gel process. So you're going to be adding more layers of gel as you go on. So with this process being the foundation, you don't want it to be lumpy. Also, definitely start cleaning up the edges of your nails as you go. I have a little like bottle cap filled with acetone, and I dip a spare brush in there and go in and clean up the sides of my nails. You don't want to keep gel there because it will cure under the light, meaning that it will get hard, and you don't want to color outside the lines, okay? So keep it cute, keep it clean, and use that spare brush to clean up any of the mess ups. Next, I go in with about 3 coats of my base color. This is like a fleshy color. It's not pink at all. It's more brown, but I feel like it looks the most natural on my nail. So I use a few coats of it just for it to get even and the nail isn't super see-through. And then I move on with the rest of the painting. Each layer is cured for about 10 to 15 seconds, and again we're using thin and even coats, a total of 3 coats, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm cleaning up as I go. Once I finish applying the base color, I move on to the actual design. So we're going to revisit the plan real quick. The thumbs on both my fingers require a French tip. They're both different colors. My right hand is going to get a pink French tip and my left hand is going to get an orange French tip. And then another French tip on my right hand will be on the ring finger. That's going to be a black French tip. The other nails will express the remainder of my color palette with blooming gel. If you're inspired to do your nails by yourself, I highly recommend blooming gel. It's just a clear gel polish that you apply to your nails, and then you put the colored gel polish on top of it without curing, so they're all still wet. And I like to make dot designs, and those designs will bloom out, so they'll spread out on the nail almost like a tie-dye, and it expresses beautifully in my opinion, and it creates very abstract and elevated looks for your nails. I usually don't get the French tip shape right the first time. I'm getting a lot better at it, but as I go, like always, I like to clean up, and I do a total of 2 to 3 coats, I believe. It really depends on how I'm feeling, but definitely more than 1 coat and no more than 3. So if you're trying this out, see how you like it. Sometimes too, I'm adding another layer of stuff over the French tip, so I'm not really tripping on the richness of the color, but I am a perfectionist and I like to make sure everything looks right. So use your discernment if you're doing your nails by yourself, but for me, I definitely use 2 to 3 coats total, and it's do 1 coat, cure it, and then add like another coat on top. I believe here I had already cured the thumb before I had moved on to my ring finger, so that's another thing to note. Y'all, I just realized that I didn't show you guys the types of brushes that I'm using to create my French tips. First, I like to create the outline of the French tip with a narrow, thin, like long brush. The pack of brushes that I have comes with a short, thin one and then like a long, thin one. Sometimes I use the longer one, sometimes I use the shorter one. It really depends on my grip that day and just how I'm feeling. But overall, it's a long, skinny one. Then I use another brush that is flat and wide to spread out the color to the rest of the French tip portion. So instead of using the brush that the bottle comes with, because that can give you a thick application, I even out the layer with this brush instead. Alrighty y'all, this is how we are looking so far. It is giving these are my nails. They look cute, they look well balanced. The French is Frenching, and now we are going to go in with the blooming gel. With this product, I like to apply one coat to one finger at a time, apply my design, and then cure it, because once you start putting the dots on or your design on, the blooming effect happens immediately. So you kind of need to be quick with it. You can leave it on too long and then it'll get washed out. And unless you're going for that look, then definitely leave it there for that long. But for me, I like the design to keep its integrity, so I like to move quick. I've never drawn out lines with blooming gel. I've only done dot designs, but I'm down to clown in the future. Definitely, if you're using blooming gel, explore with it. You know, test it out on different fingers, see what you like with it. Size definitely matters with the dots, so be very meticulous with application. And also, blooming gel is what you use to create that like snake skin design or like alligator skin pattern. I don't know, it was popular for a little bit. People were putting a little snake skin on the French, and that was hot, okay? So it's blooming gel, y'all. That's the secret, that's the key. Also, y'all, I think I forgot to mention that some of the clips in this video have been sped up, this clip being one of them. This is sped up 2 times, so I'm really not moving that fast. This entire process usually takes me a couple of hours, okay? The last nail set that I did just recently took me pretty much the entire day, but that was because I was taking breaks. I got hungry, okay? I've been learning to take my time throughout this process, but usually this will take me like, for sure, over 2 hours. But honestly, it also depends on the types of designs that I'm doing. So stuff like the French tip takes me quite a bit, especially like I said before with the left hand painting the right hand, just because I'm not dominant on that side. But yeah, it varies, but it is a long process. This is the completed look with the blooming gel. All the colors are right, they're sitting, and next I'm going to move on to embellishments. First things first, I'm going to use this chrome gel paint to add some accents to the yellow design on my pointer finger. I love this gel for multiple reasons. First, it's in a pot, so it's easier for me to dip the brush inside and just use it on the finger that I need to use it on, but also because it is easy to paint with. It has a little bit of a dry texture, so the paint isn't as loose, if that makes sense. So I feel like I have more control when I'm creating designs with this. But the only downside that I have is that the chrome payout, like the color, isn't as reflective as I would like it to be. Like, I would like the chrome to be like the same as the tip of the brush. You know what I mean? Like, you see the silver part of the brush that I'm using? I would love the chrome color to be the same as that. But this gives more like a gray. It is still very metallic, so it gives that dimension, but I really wish it was more reflective. After adding the silver accent, I move on to my pearls and rhinestones. So I believe my pinky got a pearl and my thumb got a pearl, and then I put rhinestones on the other finger. And how I adhere my rhinestones is I take my top coat and I do a layer of top coat, and then after that I just stick on the rhinestones wherever I want to stick them on. Then I cure the hand for about 30 seconds and then I add another layer. Sometimes I go and do as much as 3 layers, but for sure 2. You really don't need that many because you don't want your fingers to be too heavy or too bulky with the paint, but I like to add quite a bit just so that the rhinestones stay on and they don't like chip off or anything. Also, the rhinestones and pearls that I use are not that big, so a few coats and it's covered. And I also like to cook and clean and take bubble baths, so my hands are in water quite often. And with that, I know that the shine of the gel as well as the color payout can tend to fade if you're in water too much. So I put enough top coats just to protect the nail, just so that it lasts as long as the press on does. And speaking on the longevity of these nails, the most I've had them on for was 4 weeks, so I know they can last that long with my process. But since I do my own nails, I switch them out whenever I please. So, she's a busy girl, okay? We have social functions to go to, balls, ballets, all nine, you know what I mean? So with that, I tend to switch the theme up a lot. Also, I'm very creative. This is a form of self-expression for me. So more often than none, I will have a different set every time. But like I said, the longest I've had them on for is 4 weeks, which is a month. Alrighty, y'all, so this is how my right hand turned out. Everything is looking cute as can be. And now I'm gonna move on to my left hand. As I mentioned earlier, this side is going to go by a lot faster than the other side. So this process is going to be sped up on the video. If you want it to be slowed down, you can definitely comment down below and I'll, do that for future sets. But as of right now, this portion is going to be sped up, you guys. And I'm not really going to be explaining anything because it's pretty much the same process. So you guys are welcome to ask questions in the comment below. But overall, class, that is the end of this portion of the lesson. Feel free to grab snacks, take a break. This can be intermission. Listen to the music. I know I have some tunes bumping in the background. I'm going to turn them up in a second and stop talking so you guys can enjoy. And yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, any critiques on how I can make these little videos better. I believe that in the future, I might just focus on the artwork versus the application process, just because nothing much is gonna change, y'all. Like I've tried this process through and through, and if it ain't broke, don't do what, okay? I thought so. So for the most part, I'm just gonna be drawing, and I want to show you guys my designs, and I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier to edit that way. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But y'all let me know. This is a community. We're all friends here. So talk to me. Okay, bye.
Let's go. Look,
Alrighty, y'all, I topped everything off with my cuticle oil, and this is the final look of the nails. I am obsessed, like I am with every set that I've created. But these are very special to me. I loved the run that I had with this set. I discovered new techniques, new styles, new combinations. This set was the first doodle I created on a piece of paper and actually brought it to life. So overall, it marked a new beginning in my creative process, but I absolutely am obsessed with these nails. Comment down below if you are too, like this video if you're into it, and subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.